You ever have one of those ideas, a vision for your future that's so clear, so real, you can practically taste it, but nobody else around you sees it? That huge, lonely gap between what you know is coming and what your life looks like right now? Well, that's exactly what we're getting into today. And it all starts in a pretty unexpected place. So get this. This whole story really kicks off with this image from entrepreneur Iman Gadzhi. We're not talking about some fancy office or a cool startup garage. We're talking about being alone in a school bathroom. And this wasn't just about trying to find some peace and quiet. It was about pure survival, surviving all that pressure and feeling totally isolated while you're trying to build something out of absolutely nothing. And that feeling, that whole experience, it perfectly captures this first big idea we're going to talk about, something we can call the purgatory of ambition. It's that weird in-between zone that anyone who's ever tried to start something knows all too well. So what exactly is this purgatory? It's that super frustrating, kind of painful place where the vision inside your head is crystal clear, but the world outside just hasn't gotten the memo yet. You know where you're headed, you're putting in the work every single day, but from the outside, there's literally nothing to show for it yet. And this, right here, this is the social whiplash that comes with it. To your friends, to your family, all that intense focus just looks like you're being arrogant, like you think you're better than them. But for you, you just feel totally trapped. If you go hang out, you're wasting time you don't have. If you stay home to work, you're suddenly the outcast. It is the perfect damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And look, this wasn't just some vague feeling. It was powered by a real, nonstop grind happening in the dark. We're talking flipping Instagram accounts for cash, somehow convincing your friends' parents that you, a 15-year-old, were a personal trainer, doing freelance photo and video gigs, all of it while running on maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night. That's the hustle that this purgatory is built on. But right in the middle of all that loneliness, something can happen. A single person can completely change the game. And that brings us to our next big idea, the power of one. Just one. That's it. That's the number that can change everything. In a world full of people who doubt you or just don't get it, sometimes all it takes is one person. One person who sees what you're trying so hard to build. For Gadzhi, that person was a new kid who transferred to his school. He saw a YouTube sticker on a water bottle and just started a conversation. And that kid became his best friend. You see the turning point here? It wasn't about landing a huge client. It was about getting that validation from someone, a peer who just looked at him and said, yeah, I believe you're going to do it. And that's the key takeaway, isn't it? Having someone else believe in you can feel like a lifeline. It's the rocket fuel you need to keep going when your own motivation is just running on fumes. Finding that one person can make that whole purgatory phase feel, well, bearable. Okay, so you're in the thick of it. Maybe you found your one person, maybe you haven't. So how do you actually get through the day-to-day grind? Well, the answer is way simpler than you'd think. It all comes down to a philosophy of just moving forward. Here it is. It's just 3 steps. 1, put your head down, block out all the noise, all the doubters. 2, focus only on the pavement right in front of your feet. Don't look at the mountain in the distance. And 3, just take the next step. That's it. Don't worry about the marathon ahead, just focus on the next few inches. And this quote right here, it just gets right to the heart of it all. You know how people act so surprised by success? Well, the person who actually did it, they're not surprised at all. And why is that? Because they remember every single step it took to get there. Success isn't some magic trick. It's the logical result of taking thousands of tiny, deliberate steps. And those steps can be really, really far apart. It took over 200 days for him to get his second agency client after his first. Think about that. 200 days of just putting one foot in front of the other, with no new wins, no new proof it was working. That is what focusing on the pavement looks like in the real world. So when you start to put all these pieces together, the isolation, the power of just one believer, the relentless focus on the next step, you start to see what this whole entrepreneurship thing is really about. Because look, figuring out the how to build a website, how to run an ad, how to make your first $1,000, that's actually getting easier every single day. The real hard part, the final boss battle, is just surviving the mental and social pain of that purgatory phase of waiting for your reality to finally catch up with your vision. So just remember this. Success is never a surprise that you just stumble upon. It's an accumulation. It's the logical result of every single step you take when nobody is watching you. It's built in those lonely moments. And when you realize that, the only question that really truly matters is the one right in front of you. What's your next step?